Here we are in Sleeping Giant. Green team that on spawn will be SEEYA running Vermont as their limited ship. Kremlin, Moskva, Marseille, Khabarovsk, Delny, Daring. Let me pull up the ban overlay very quickly. Then we have in the red team in the southern spawn, MOYAI running Vermont as their limited ship. Des Moines, Moskva, Minotaur, Haragumo, Summers, and Khabarovsk. Some builds.
Battle starts.
Delny, Fearless Brawler, Concealment. Daring, standard looking stuff. Khabarovsk, Concealment, Fearless, AFT. We have our Moskva here. Top Grade Gunner, Top Grade Gunner, Legendary Module. Slot 4 DCP, not Prop Mod. That could be dangerous for you. Marseille. Prop mod, engine boost mod, Top Grade Gunner, leg mod, Top Grade Gunner, Petro. No engine boost mod on this Marseille though. He's taking Demolition Expert as well. We've got Vermungus, Heavy AP, and the Legendary Module. Kremlin with DC mod slot 4, not taking Prop mod. Right, next up, let's have a look at the red team builds. Starting out with this far out Minotaur. He's going to be a radar Minotaur. He's going to be running out. He's going to be running RPF, concealable cooldown and duration. Summers, Swift and Silence, Dazzle. No Superintendent. No Swift and Silence. Got Moskva, Top Grade Gunner, Legendary Module. Got Moskva, Top Grade Gunner, Legendary Module. Vermungus, no heavy AP, Legend mod though. Then we got Des Moines for MOYAI, outnumbered and Top Grade Gunner, no survivability expert with the Legendary Module there. Moskva, Top Grade Gunner, outnumbered again. Sorry, Top Grade Gunner and Leg Mod, not outnumbered, my apologies. Haragumo is going to be AFT, BFT, RPF, not taking Superintendent for the extra smoke. Then we got the Khabarovsk, Conceal and Rudder mod in slot 5, along with Fearless and AFT. Let's take a look at initial deployments on the tactical map. So over in green, we see Khabarovsk going for the early dive. We've got Vermungus hovering here, looking for something to catch on the crossing. We've got Moscow manning the radar island, Daring with the reverse for the cap. Kremlin heading over here to start help with some sort of heavy pushing. Marseille going to be doing a double heavy push down that side. Moscow's going to man this as a radar bot. This Kremlin can choose to go either way, depending on what sees. Delny will go for the deep spots down here. Meanwhile, red team deployment. Summers and Minotaur are going to be looking to deny this Khabarovsk and force him back. Moscow here also, that's going to basically, this is going to be entirely forced. This Vermont might be able to come back to maybe look to pop this Minotaur at some point. Moscow playing radar bot here, just trying to deny the B cap for a while. Then we've got Vermungus hovering here, looking to farm out this Moscow most likely. Then we've got Des Moines, who's going to be pairing up with Haragumo. As the Khabarovsk goes deep, look for him, and Moscow runs this to eventually head for the push and radar control. All quiet on the western front. Alright, we're going to be pairing up with his Des Moines quite soon. Him and Philippus going to be looking to make a big smoke play down here. Delny spots the Khabarovsk, so that's going to be an earliest ship that's spotted. I assume Moscow might start shooting, but that's probably about it for now. The double Marseilles don't want to reveal the position just now. Moscow chooses not to get involved. Only dodging between the torpedoes. Nobody doing any damage just yet. Well, actually, no. The Moscow did do a little bit of damage to someone. Not sure. Right. Who have you shot? You have shot the opposing Moscow. Okay, good talk. Moscow from Moscow violence. Yeah. Getting caught on that cross there, but. A cap was taken by, looks like the Summers. They're going to be smoking up as Minotaur. B cap should be soon contested by the SEEYA Daring. Moskva radar will be running out relatively shortly. Not in a position to actually damage him. The Marseille should be heading towards this Des Moines smoke relatively soon, as we see the Harrigan finally does lay down that smoke screen for the Des Moines. These two Marseilles haven't been identified yet, but they should know where these Marseilles are. This should be very expected. Because where else are you going to put two Marseilles? Cav going to look to turn on the border here. Smoke is not going to be... He's going to smoke all the way at the border. That's going to mean he doesn't have a position to spot very easily. He's going to have to hang out the front of the smoke where there will be the two waiting Marseilles. Marseilles were spotted though. Well, one of the Marseilles was spotted, and they should know the second one will be there. Harry's going to reverse out of the smoke to spot them. Des Moines going to go for a little bit of farming on them. Among Us looking for pot shots to this Moskva. Kremlin's going to start its push. Moskva's going to put his radar out. He's going to identify everything. We see KotS do a little bit of damage there. Daring going to get caught in the second Moskva's radar as he tries to contest. Yeah, that might be a perma lockdown on him actually in that position there. The double Marseilles are now going to be started to get farmed. Looks like they're going to start reversing. Looks like, yeah, they're going to send... This could be interesting, actually. Moskva was going to get farmed by the double Marseille, but now... Well, they might be the target of the focus instead. And the Marseilles haven't started their hydro rotation yet. And there are torpedoes incoming. Marseille of Paolo. Oh, both Marseilles take a torpedo each. Again, the hydro rotation not started. There we go. Now we start the hydro rotation. A little late. Daring looking for conga lines towards this Moskva. The Moskva does have his radar ready though. So the second he touches that cap, there will be an instant radar from that Moskva. Moskva does see that he's spotted, can easily pop his radar and look for what's spotting him. Blind shelling from Among Us looking towards that smoke. Does actually clip the Minotaur there. Torpedoes from the Summers head towards that Moskva, but they're all going to be hydro, not going to spot anything. Looking towards this as the Des Moines smokescreen expires. Everything's going to be focusing over at this Khabarovsk. We see big shots in from the Kremlin, big shots in from both Marseilles. Reload boosters are active. Moskva getting shots in too. That's going to be the Khabarovsk going down, but look, it looks like they're going to lose that Khabarovsk at the expense of... take the Khabarovsk at the expense of losing one of their two Marseilles. More importantly, that was the Marseille that still had his hydro ready. So this Marseille is no longer going to have hydro. Delny is a heal of Delny, by the way, so he's not going to be able to re-smoke. He's not going to be able to drop a smoke for this Marseille in any way, shape, or form. You know, Among Us salvo coming in towards that Marseille on the turn takes a huge chunk out of him, and they might potentially lose both Marseilles for one Khabarovsk, and that is not what you want to see. DCP not available, 51 seconds. Moscow's getting in on this too. Marseille does get dark. Haru dropped his smoke, and there's nothing going to respot. Blindfire still comes in. They know exactly where he is right now. There have been landing shells. Still landing shells. No fire, though. Gets respotted. Gets a fire on his stern. Gonna keep him lit. Des Moines gonna be opening him on this. Moscow radars to see where this Daring is. And that's probably going to be another dead Marseille. Heal not available. Permafire running. As the Daring is potentially going for some sort of YOLO play here. Moscow in the background there. Looks like he's took a bit of a battering. How much do you... Okay, Daring does not go for the YOLO commit. Moscow's being bullied by the Khabarovsk, apparently. Yeah, this Khabarovsk has been bullying this Moscow, apparently. In front of the Minotaur. Daring is just kind of suffering here. I guess he just beached. Yeah, he clipped the island with an awkward beach, and yeah. I think he was going for the YOLO, and then the island just decided to reach out and grab his little rudder there and just hold on to him. Harrow and Des Moines going to be raining on the side of this Kremlin here. As the Kremlin walks towards the Moscow's bow. Kremlin does overmatch the top half of the Moscow bow. Is it about to see some Moskva action in the Thunderdome? Yeah, Kremlin being tortured, not going to be able to get towards the Moscow. Goes down. And a very nice hold from MOYAI, denying the full push of SEEYA over on the 910 line here. As we go into the Thunderdome and we watch what exactly is happening here, as the Summers looks to be going for YOLO. Bonk. 4 ships remaining for SEEYA. Moskva, Delny, Vermont, and the Khabarovsk, who's being really fucking annoying for that amount of team, but not actually doing anything. Longest chunking the bow of Brody a little bit, but as we see, the Vermont takes out the Moskva. Game 1 will go over to MOYAI. I think. I might have had the teams the wrong way around for that game. It's fine. Yeah, I had the teams the wrong way around. It's fine. Yes, winner scene, go. Alright, this is, of course, a best of 5. I like how it says rain, by the way. Hang on. Let me fix this. Let's try that again. There we go. Yes. My predictions might break slightly. Needless time up, but okay. Alright, anyway, back to what we were doing. Yes, okay, best of 5. Let's have a look. See what we've got coming next. That scene still has issues with the transition. Okay, next up we're going to be going over to Land of Fire. I haven't seen that in a while now. Alright, Land of Fire is map number 2. Let's go through you over a map introduction video.
At the extreme southern tip of South America lies an archipelago rich in history and diversity. Soon, these storied waters will play host to a heroic clash between opposing forces, and the region will live up to its name. This is Land of Fire. Land of Fire is a 48 by 48 kilometer domination-style map with 4 cap points running in a line from west to east. The A cap is on the left, B is in the center, and the C and D caps are on the right. To the west, the A cap has been shifted eastward, providing a significantly more open cap than before. It is common to see ships parked on the island on the west edge of the cap in order to deny the flank push, while also preventing an easy capture by enemy destroyers. Islands to the north and south also provide a safer but less rewarding place for radar cruisers to sit and defend the cap. Cap B in the center is wide open with plenty of ways in and out, and is initially the purview of competing destroyers. Teams will have to evaluate if it is worth smoking a cruiser to the island to the west of B in order to provide radar and hydro coverage. If combat shifts to an east-west axis, it's common to see some spectacular mid- and late-game pushes through the center of the map. On the right, Caps C and D provide a tempting and risky choice for teams. Fast destroyers will typically take the home caps early, giving the teams the option of pushing a battleship down the 9 or 10 line to gain complete control over the eastern portion of the map. However, teams must always be wary of the multitude of islands that provide cover and ambush opportunities for a daring team. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Land of Fire.
Land of Fire. Well, that's, yes. I've seen a 9-10 push on this map for a while, actually. As you see, players will be moved on to the new team. Words are difficult. Yes. Yeah, so I need to be on Spawn's reverse scene for this game. Okay, cool. Good enough. Let's have a look once again at our, okay, you know what? Hang on a second. Yeah. Up next. There we go. There's all the bands. You know, I'm gonna go quickly edit this to add sources, add image, add existing. Map next. Okay. And then I'll put that there. And then you can see the spawns. Genius. There we go. That almost looks like it's supposed to look like that. It kind of, yeah, it's a little bit scuffed. It does the job though, doesn't it? There we go. Yeah. I could also add the ship bands, but that might be a little bit excessive. SEEYA currently missing 3 players. The forfeit timer is 40 minutes. So they have a couple of minutes to get their team into the game. But they have like, yeah. They have 1 minute to get their team in. Alright, everybody's ready. Ready to drop. Game number 2. Line of fire. SEEYA declare ready. MOYAI declare ready. And they're going. Here we are, game number 2 of this best of 5 quarterfinal between MOYAI and SEEYA. Green team, the northern spawn, will be SEEYA, running Vermont, Schlieffen, Des Moines, Moskva, Stalingrad, Gearing, Daring, Yuyang. Meanwhile, in red, in the southern spawn, MOYAI going to be running Vermont, Rhode Island, Moskva, Minotaur, Marseille, Khabarovsk, Marceau, and Ragnar. So look at some builds. Oh, green team. Daring, relatively standard stuff. We got the gearing with System Silence, RPF, and the legendary module. We have the Yuyang is going to be a smoke Yuyang. RPF, torpedo reload, no superintendent. He doesn't really need it. You got a million smokes anyway. We got Des Moines here. Top grade gunner outnumbered, no survivability expert. Legendary module was taken. Moskva, leg mod, top grade gunner as standard. Moskva as standard. Stalingrad as well, range mod Stalingrad with no prop mod. Vermungus, no heavy AP, is taking a leg mod. Schlieffen, full secondary IF-18, no fire prevention, which is what you expect. However, he's not taking the improved hydro cooldown. Duration, sorry, not taking hydro mod. Next up, red team, MOYAI, Marceau. He's taking RPF and AFT, no fearless. We've got Khabarovsk, rudder mod, slot 5, superintendent, AFT, no fearless. Second Khabarovsk, same build. Minotaur will be a radar Minotaur, running RPF, cooldown, reload, and cool duration. Marseille, outnumbered. Rhode Island, heavy AP. Vermungus, no heavy AP. We got the Ragnar with AFT, superintendent. And then finally we got the Moskva with standard build. Well, mostly standard. Alright, initial deployments. So for the green team, shouldn't have closed this. Green team heading over to A. We're going to be sending this gearing Des Moines, a smoke radar combination, looking to get something involved in that and maybe force push down. Moskva going to be manning here for a second radar, maybe going to be anchoring himself on this island, should be able to get there. Daring getting smoked to this island, Daring smoking the Moskva to this island. He's going to put the Moskva down there. Moskva's going to have a nice little radar position. Daring can then contest there. We've got Vermont, who's looking for salvos towards whatever he can find over there. Schlieffen looks like he's going towards the 10 line for a push. Maybe even goes this way. Got a Yuyang in front of it to potentially smoke him. And then Stalingrad's pre-kited here. Going to be reversing his way down, looking to see if he can get damage on anything he finds on the crosshair. Well, in red, Marceau with the early cap. Khabarovsk in support. Both Khabarovsk in support. Minotaur just behind that. Let me just double check that the Khabarovsk are both going to be running. I'll double check that the Khabarovsk are both smoke Khabas in a second. Marseille and Rhode Island look like they're going to try and force their way up there. Vermungus just parks here looking for that Moskva spot, but he's actually going to be there, so he might have to rotate off that. Moskva man's here for radar control, and then Ragnar is going to head over here and just try and zone this out, spot for the Moskva, and see what they can do. Alright, let's just go double check. These Khabas are both smoke Khabas. Heal Khabas, sorry. Yeah, both running heal. Gonna be opening up on the Moscow that they found, as the daring smoke is already over. As second daring smoke comes. As the Moskva is getting absolutely giga clapped on his way through, and is now caught. Well, he's about to be caught deep within radar, and there's a million torpedoes coming in, and the SEEYA Moskva is not going to make it to his island. Not a chance in hell. Torpedoes inbound too. Oh, no, those torpedoes expired, but he still shouldn't be making it. He still has the KotS, Rhode Island, and Marseille on him. Yeah, he needs to go down. Marseille picking up that kill. Now daring, caught within radar of the Minotaur. And successful trap play there. Home cap's being taken in the background during all that. Now, SEEYA going to be rotating their Marceau KotS towards the B cap, potentially contesting that one too. Now there's no longer a radar control over it. I think the daring just smoked too early there, so they thought, okay, we're going to have to wait for the next smoke. But by the time the second smoke was in, everything was already positioned to deal with it. Right now, it's going to be finding the Schlieffen and Yuyang. He's going to get his radar down and will spot the Yuyang, getting a bit of damage on him. However, Schlieffen secondary is hurt. A lot. Stalin radar comes out, spots the Moskva, spots everything at B. There's the Des Moines and Gearing smoke play we were talking about, but there's nothing really for them to farm right now. Rhode Island and Marseille both parked up behind islands. They did get a bit of damage on the Marseille here, though. Yuyang smoking the Schlieffen forward. Gonna allow them to jump the gap here, and then they should be able to take this home cap. Although there is like a Among Us still here. We might have something to say about that. Schlieffen heads out the front of the smoke.
The enemy is about to win.
Is spotted. Secondaries will begin raining down on things. The Schlieffen can't really push much further forward, though. He will have, you know, an entire Vermont waiting and remove his face. Gearing of Pro is spotted in the background by Petro radar. Sorry, Rhode Island radar. I forgot Rhode Island has a radar. Oh, and so did the Des Moines, apparently. Is Des Moines not having a good time with an entire Rhode Island in his face, being forced out of his smoke, and... well, let's see what he can do. The answer is not very much, because he still has the Minotaur and Marseille on him too. Yeah. Gearing gunboating the Rhode Island a little bit just to try and get some damage onto him. Well, Gearing might have to give up gunboating now. Considering Cabros and Rhode Island both sat on his face, and the Cabros is about to go around the corner and potentially YOLO the this Moskva. Gearing goes down to Rhode Island salvo. Cabot dumps all his torps into the face of the Moskva. Moskva goes down, and that's not really looking too healthy for SEEYA, who are down 4 ships now. Yeah, that will be a decisive victory for MOYAI, taking the series to 2-0. Alright, let's have a look how the other games have been going. As we look at this, so T3 up 2-0 against SEEYA. Rain have finished their series, taking 3-0 over OSS, and Oh Boy were up 1-0 over Yo Boy. Let's have a look at back to our best of 5 though. So as you see, 2-0 up for MOYAI over SEEYA. Next map will be Faroe Islands. Let me throw you over to a map introduction video. As soon as I set it up. There we go, Faroe Islands.
Between the Norwegian Sea and the North Atlantic Ocean lies a subpolar collection of islands guarding the gates of Northern Europe. The seas surrounding this rugged volcanic land will erupt once again as 2 opposing fleets donate molten steel. Only one fleet can successfully tame this land. This is Faroe Islands. Faroe Islands is a 42 by 42 kilometer domination-style map with 4 cap points running from the northwest to southeast. The A cap is in the top left, B is in the center, C is in the bottom, and D is in the upper right. The A cap lies far from each team's spawn. Ships heading this direction will be forced to expose their full profile to potential enemies along the way. With nearby islands providing refuge to radar cruisers, destroyers must play cautiously. The B cap sits in the direct center, the remnants of an extinct volcano bordering the caldera. On all 4 sides are narrow waterways, in and out. Fleets must commit significant resources if they wish to take and hold this crucial territory. The C and D caps serve as home caps for each fleet. Though easy to take, the islands between them will serve to mask the advancement of friend and foe alike. Will teams opt to blitz their opponent by directly assaulting their home cap, or play it safe and fight for more? Map control. The 4 corners of Faroe Islands consist of landmasses which serve to funnel ships into various choke points. Battles on this map will resemble the molten forces that forged them, fiery and fierce. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Faroe Islands.
There we go. Right, well. Let's have a look at the training room, see what people are doing right now. Players are all switched around and stuff. SEEYA will be the green team for this game. Again. Sorry. Yeah, that'll be the third game in a row they're going to be the green team. I could have just switched this around, couldn't I? Yeah, well, it's fine. Right, sorry, just dealing with some code issues. Alright, all code should in theory be working, it's fine. Interesting. Interesting. Starts interesting. I've just seen a... Sorry. Yeah, so we're just waiting on the players to, well, declare ready and stuff. And we'll get game number 3. I might have to ban somebody later. Interesting. Alright, both teams ready. Dropping game number 3. Tournament life on the line. Quarterfinals. MOYAI up 2-0 over SEEYA. Green team in the northern spawn here in game number 3 of this best of 5 is going to be SEEYA running Vermont, Ohio, Des Moines, Moscow, Stalingrad, Gearing, Daring. Meanwhile, in red, MOYAI in the southern spawn running Wisconsin, Kremlin, Moscow, Minotaur, SEEYA, Haragumo, Marceau. The limited pool ship's going to be Vermont and SEEYA for this game. And I'll quickly throw on the ban overlay just so you guys remember what's banned. That stuff. Alright, let's look at some builds anyway. Green team, we're going to start off with the Daring there. Relatively standalone stuff. We got the Gearing with the legendary module, RPF and Swift and Silence. We've got Des Moines here, top grade gunner, outnumbered. Sorry, why did I say outnumbered? Top grade gunner and legendary module. Why did I say outnumbered? Anyway, Stalingrad, top grade gunner, DCP mod slot 4, range mod slot 6. Moskva, leg mod, top grade gunner, Vermongus, heavy AP in the legendary module. Ohio, standard looking stuff. These mines, outnumbered in top grade gunner. That's why I said it. I might have looked at him. Okay, also a leg mod. And then we got the Gearing here. Legendary module, Swift and Silence, torpedo reload. He doesn't have Swift and Silence, he has RPF. Brain, work, please. Brain, work. Right, anyway, red team, go quickly. Alright, Marceau here, Fearless, AFT. The second Marceau is going to be RPF, AFT. We got the SEEYA in support, outnumbered. Superintendent, we got Moskva, top grade gunner, outnumbered. Sorry, not outnumbered, top grade gunner, leg mod. Stop saying outnumbered instead of leg mod, Pinzo. What's wrong with you? Leg mod and top grade gunner for that Moskva too. We got Kremlin here. Then we got the Haragumo, who is AFT, BFT leg mod. No RPF, no Superintendent. And then we have Wisconsin and Minotaur, who's going to be a radar Minotaur, who is running outnumbered and RPF. Wow. Right, initial deployments. So, over the ACAT, we have the Gearing Des Moines smoke combo. Des Moines is now spotted. Gearing instantly smokes. Got the Moscow as the support. He's going to head into this island most likely. You've got Vermont in behind. He's going to be looking for pot shots towards the SEEYA. We've got Daring. He's going to go for the contest here. Daring, Stalingrad's going to play radar control over all of B. Ohio is going to be backing up this Gearing Des Moines, who are going to be looking to push there with their smoke radar combination. Meanwhile, for the red team, Marceau went for the early cap. SEEYA is going to be in support of them. Moscow's going to man this island. Kremlin's going to be here, looking for potentially a push maybe, and just tonight, like, you know, pot shots towards this Des Moines smoke eventually. Moskva sits here. He's going to be the radar bot for that island. And then we have this Minotaur, Haragumo, and Wisconsin, who are going to be a counter force to be running into the Des Moines and Gearing. Des Moines took a torpedo in that smoke screen, not the end of the world. He definitely felt it though. Marceau about to field torpedoes of his own, maybe? Yep, takes one right in the middle of the ship. What was at the bow? Also going to beach afterwards. Face first into the rock. Let's have a look at the encroachment of these two smoke blobs. Well, a bunch of radars are happening in the B cap right now. Daring gets spotted. Big salvos coming from Marceau. I don't want to go too far away because this collision's about to happen right now. I do want to zoom in on that and watch, but no, Daring's going to get out of there. And there we see the gearing finally runs into the opposing Minotaur. Both smokes get laid, and nothing really much happened, honestly. Des Moines sits outside, so he's not getting radared by the Minotaur. He will have the second radar. A bunch of shelling happening back and forth across the B cap. Gearing taking some damage in the background from the sphere too. Alright, Des Moines goes forward into the rest of the Minotaur's radar. Haru opens up. The Minotaur's radar is finally expiring. There's going to be a Wisconsin salvo coming in onto Des Moines. But now Des Moines turns flat, it starts shelling the Minotaur, who has to make a turn. And, you know, Minotaur takes a big chunk, but he's still alive. And pops that heal, gets himself out of there. Let's go switch over to the other side of the map. What's been happening with the DDs? We saw a lot of trading. Those Marceaus getting onto that Daring. He's been forced back. The Sphere took a hit from something, question mark. That was Mongus, obviously. Gearing going to be taking the A cap here. I don't think Moscow has a radar already, right? No. Now we'll regroup with his Des Moines, looking to get him smoked forward, potentially looking to find a position to farm out Brody's Moscow over there, maybe. That equalizes the caps at 2-2. Stalin radar comes out. For some reason at B, doesn't really find anything apart from Brody. Yeah, there's the gearing in Des Moines smoke. They're actually going to go for 90 meters Moscow rather than Brody's. Nice neat as Moscow radar comes out. Doesn't spot the gearing all the Des Moines though. He does spot the Daring. So Daring's going to call that as a radar active. Moss going to be moving forward. How's Sphere's smoke count doing? Sphere has another 4 smokes, of course he does. Alright, Moscow comes out, spots the Marceau. That's about it though. Vermont also heading forward. Vermont might be looking to make a play through the B cap. Looks like Stalingrad might want to make an advancement too as well. Stalingrad might be trying to make this jump sooner or later. Resmoke from the Des Moines in the background there does find Marceau and Minotaur. Minotaur and Hariguma should be resmoking back, so there'll be a bit of a collision of the smokes right now. Des Moines turning flat broadside. There should be like a Wisconsin salvo coming this way. Interestingly, Marceau not going for the AP. But you can actually, like, that's probably like perfect range to Citadel of Des Moines there if you caught him on the turn, but eh. Oof, SEEYA in the background there, taking some torpedoes, going down to gearing. That's a bit uncomfortable. Well, SEEYA force themselves further forward. They are sending the Vermont through to the B cap now, as we mentioned earlier. Well, Des Moines has gone forward. However, there's a Kremlin here. You don't want to see a Kremlin in the face of your Des Moines. He's going for the kill on Brody's Moskva. But he realizes, you know, there's a Kremlin here. And there's the Kremlin salvo. He gets a big chunk onto him. But in return, there's going to be some torpedoes heading towards that Kremlin. One connects, two connects. Vermongus isn't able to get the contest, but the Ohio is. Torpedoes towards the Ohio, though, are going to be doing a lot of damage. There's damage everywhere right now. Des Moines and Gearing going to be doing the repush too now. They don't manage to get the kill on the Brody just yet, although they are still going to start finding angles from this Moskva now. Ohio getting absolutely battered right now by Hariguma Minotaur. But the Des Moines and Gearing have got on the back of the Moskva of Brody. Should be taking him down now. Gearing getting caught by Moskva radar. Brody not dead yet. Ohio is dead though.
The enemy is about to win.
MOYAI actually in a position to win this quite. Okay, they take down Brody. 1 minute 23 left on the clock for a MOYAI victory. They need to get the Vermont into B to block points for 15 seconds. And it needs to go now. $907 and 918. Radars coming out from Moscow over here. They can start doing damage to this Kremlin, but the Kremlin's like reversing to try and find this Des Moines again. Des Moines gets found by the Kremlin again. Takes some trips to his bow, reverse back around the corner. Vermont does get himself back into the B cap. That's going to start putting the advantage in for SEEYA. They don't actually need to take it, they just need to block it. What potential kills are there right now? Torpedoes into this smoke screen are a potential kill into this Des Moines. Kremlin potentially getting farmed out by Stalingrad. Vermont. Vermont is potentially a kill from all of this stuff focusing them. Marceau there is also potentially a kill. Torpedoes not going to be the biggest issue. Gearing getting caught in this radar is a bit of an issue from Haragumo plus Wisconsin plus this. There's so many potential kills right now. Des Moines dodges the first wave of torpedoes, still 2 more in. Vermont down to 5,800 health. Stalingrad's going to be in the cap now to... Well, actually, is he? If Vermont... Ooh, Kremlin and Vermont both getting super low, both getting turbo farmed. First kill wins this game. MOYAI take out the Vermont first. Kremlin goes down after, but it's too little too late. And MOYAI take the series 3-0. And I'll go see if there's any other games remaining. Which I doubt. Alright, that is it. Apparently that's all of the games are over already today, so congratulations to MOYAI. Let me throw you on the winner scene and then we'll get everything else looked at.